guys, sorry I can't be at class tonight, but my youngest is playing basketball in a town that's an hour away, so gotta go watch my kiddo play. So my lit review was over the effects of one-to-one computers on student achievement, and so I'm just going to briefly tell you what I found about that when I was researching. So there are lots of studies out there about one-to-one computers since it's now really super popular. But a lot of them are just using the data that they collect. They're using a lot of surveys and not necessarily using like test scores and comparing the two different test scores. They're asking students how they felt about using one-to-one and teachers how they felt about using one-to-one. So based on that information, here is what I have learned. I have learned that when you go one-to-one, it actually helps the students communicate with each other and with their teachers and with the outside world. They also become better collaborators. There's a lot of collaboration projects going on. And I think the biggest piece is that they can actually contact people right when they need to contact them so that they're not waiting to get hold of a computer and then find out that they can't contact that person because they've completely forgotten about them. They've also become better writers and researchers if they have one-to-one computers. So that's on the student side. The teachers expressed that they needed to have professional development before the computers were actually deployed to the students. And in fact, those teachers interviewed said at least a year's worth of professional development. And the reason why is because they are actually changing the way that they are teaching. You are no longer a sit and get environment. You are now ready for the student-centered classroom. Project-based learning becomes very important when you go one-to-one because now students can find stuff that they like and they start researching it right then and there. It's a very much of a, if they want to know something, they can get that information right now. Along that lines, teachers needed to know how to help students become better researchers. Students know how to use computers. They don't necessarily know how to use them in a way that is educational. They are very good at the social aspects, but not very good at the educational aspects. The other third point of questions that were brought up was about tech support. So you cannot do a one-to-one initiative if you do not have the internal structure ready to go. If your infrastructure is not ready to handle all those computers, then this project will not work for you. You also need to have all sorts of policies in place. A lot of schools started the one-to-one initiative and didn't have policies in place. Things like what happens if a student doesn't bring their computer with them? What do you do if a student breaks their computer? Are you going to offer insurance? What is your replacement policy? What grades are going to get replaced? What grades are not going to get replaced? On certain years, you need rollout years and all sorts of different things. So all that needs to be in place so that your rollout is seamless, actually. The amazing part about this is while I'm doing my lit review, we switched superintendents this year, and he's a very outgoing, ready to go-getter kind of superintendent. So he formed a technology committee, one of which we have to be on because we're the technology instructional coaches. And we have decided that our 3-year plan is that our district is actually going to go one-to-one. So I have used a lot of stuff that I have looked at in my lit review to help our district go in that direction. One of which is that we are not going one-to-one next year. We are going to spend that year doing professional development and make sure that we have everything ready. We're going to run a crash test on our infrastructure because this summer we're going to beef it up, and so next school year we're going to run a crash test and put every single device that we have across the district on all at the same time. So that was my lit review project, was the effects of one-to-one computing. Sorry I can't be there and hear about everybody else's lit reviews. You guys were doing amazing things. So have a happy holiday.